everybody, and welcome to the Millennial Revolt, an independent political talk show that seeks to bring a different narrative than the stale one we have going on right now in mainstream media. So, Jill Stein and her VP had their first town hall last night on CNN, and it was simply amazing. She did a wonderful job, though I felt that she was a little bit nervous, and some of the questions she looks a little shaky on her in some of her responses and her answers, but she was rock solid in a lot of the gotcha questions that they tried to throw out of her. I feel like there were certain DNC plants, maybe Hillary agents in the audience who was trying to throw out really trick questions at her, but she handled herself amazingly. Ajamu Baraka handled himself amazingly. They did a wonderful job, and I was so excited to see her just really shine in her element, because I think just her talking to the audience, just her talking to the regular people, everyday American people, I think when they find out her message and they get to know who she is, and Jill honestly only has a short amount of time to really do this, I think people are going to gravitate to her campaign, and I think she's going to get a lot more Bernie supporters who were probably on the fence about her for a little bit. I think she will probably get more of them now. I think she will probably get some Hillary supporters. I think Jill did a wonderful job. It was so amazing. So we're going to take a look at some of her best moments throughout the town hall, and we're going to discuss.
He supported Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary. He's now leaning toward supporting Hillary Clinton, but this is your chance. Go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Dr. Stein, given the way our political system works, effectively you could help Donald Trump like Ralph Nader helped George Bush in 2000. How could you sleep at night?
I will have trouble sleeping at night if Donald Trump is elected. I will also have trouble sleeping at night if Hillary Clinton is elected. And as despicable as Donald Trump's words are, I find Hillary Clinton's actions and track record is very troubling. So Donald Trump, bashes immigrants and is a xenophobic and racist loudmouth. But Hillary Clinton, has been promoting these wars that have killed 1 million black and brown people in Iraq, for example. The Democratic Party has become the party of deportation and detentions and night raids with, millions of people deported under Barack Obama. Some of them include the refugees from Honduras, where Hillary Clinton gave the thumbs up to a coup from which thousands of people have been fleeing, who have not been welcomed into this country. And Hillary, in fact, has supported many of the White House policies of deportation and detentions. On, the issue of nuclear war, I am very concerned about trouble breaking out in Syria in this air war that Hillary is threatening to have. So, as disturbing as Donald Trump's talk is, I find Hillary Clinton's track record is actually very much a concern too. This politics of fear that tells you you've got to vote against the person you most dislike or the person you are most afraid of, that politics of fear has a track record. Because a lot of people have been, that's been like the prevailing mythology. You got to vote your fears, not your values. And what has that delivered? All the reasons you're told to vote for the lesser evil, because you didn't want the expanding wars, you didn't want the meltdown of the climate, or the Wall Street bailouts, or the deportation of immigrants. That's exactly what we've gotten by allowing ourselves to be silent. So in my view, we need to reject the lesser evil and fight for the greater good, like our lives depend on it, because in fact they do.
I think Jill Stein gave the perfect answer to this question, and I've talked about this in a couple of videos now, about the whole lesser of two evils notion and how I reject that. You know, as all the things Donald Trump says, and as scary and as sometimes hateful as they may seem in our overly politically correct society, Hillary Clinton actually has a track record of the scary and vicious and bad things Donald Trump has talked about. Hillary Clinton did support the coup in Honduras. Hillary Clinton did support the Iraq War. Hillary Clinton voted for the Patriot Act. Hillary Clinton supported the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, which was one of the richest countries in Africa. Hillary Clinton supports regime change going on right now in Syria. Hillary Clinton supports putting additional troops on the ground, which we are violating international law as it is. Being in Syria, we have no legal justification to be there. You know, these are the things that she has done, and she has a track record for these things. She supported her husband's crime bill, which disproportionately incarcerated African American citizens. She supported DOMA at the time, and then changed course when she's seen that the Democratic Party was moving towards marriage equality. I mean, Hillary Clinton, she will say and do anything to get elected. And I feel like people say that the reason that she is the lesser of two evils, and I know I see the Humanist Report do this a lot because he says she will be better on social issues. Hillary Clinton is a conservative through and through. Donald Trump voted Democrat or has supported liberal values throughout his whole adult life. He just recently turned Republican, in early 2008 because he disliked President Obama. He jumped on the whole birther train. If anybody started the whole birther train, if you remember when she was running against President Obama back in 2008, she made very serious questions saying, well, where was he from? Are you sure he was born in this country? It was a very nasty race campaign that they ran against each other, and the Republicans just so happened to jump on that bandwagon. So there are a lot of things that can be said about Donald Trump, and I think the one thing why people think Hillary Clinton will be better than Donald Trump is because people think he will put on a conservative judge in the Supreme Court. That's one of the whole reasons why I feel like people are voting for Hillary Clinton is just mainly for the Supreme Court. But people need to understand like this. The things that Donald Trump says and the things that he claims that he will do will not pass Congress. The Supreme Court will probably not allow him to do half the things he claims he will do. So it's just foolhardy to think, well, I'm going to vote for her to keep him out. No, vote your values. Vote for someone who you think will be better for this country. And I think Jill Stein gave a perfect answer and just really stated Hillary Clinton's record, because nowadays you don't see any of the mainstream channels or newspapers or magazines doing this. It's very all wishy-washy when it comes to Hillary Clinton in there. They kind of blur the lines and just attack Trump when they need to be subjective. She has a very questionable record. Right now she might be brought up on charges of perjury, for God's sake. But Jill Stein did an amazing job. Her answer was spot on. Now we're going to take a look at another one of her better moments of the debate.
Dr. Stein, I have a little bit of a concern. I know that you're advocating for boycotting Israel, and I just want to know, why do you single out Israel, being that they are a democratic ally to us? Why don't you do the same for other Middle Eastern states, and many of which are committing horrific crimes and abuse of people?
So let me reassure you, Maria, that's exactly what we are doing. And I've been very careful to avoid that pitfall of targeting Israel. And what we say is that we are turning over a new chapter, because we ourselves have been as guilty of this as any of our allies. But what we would say, under a green administration, if we turn the White House into a greenhouse, what we're saying is that our foreign policy will be based on international law and human rights. So when we say to Israel that we will not continue to give you $8 million a day, when the Israeli army is occupying territory in Palestine, conducting home demolitions and assassinations and things of that sort that are recognized by the UN. We're not going to do it for the Saudis either. They don't get a pass whatsoever, nor for that matter does Egypt get a pass with their incredible human rights violations, and we're giving them not as much, but we're giving them billions of dollars a year.
Have you advocated to boycott Saudi Arabia?
Yes, absolutely.
I think this was one of the most important questions asked throughout the whole night in the Green Party town hall, because America seems to have a problem when people begin to criticize Israel. And we really need to get over this, and we really need to come to an understanding of what the Netanyahu government is actually doing. They are violating international law. They are illegally killing Palestinian people. They are demolishing homes. They are detaining children, and they are violating international law. Now, this is not to say that the Hamas government is not doing that, because they are. They are certainly doing things that are illegal, and they should be held responsible and accountable to the fullest extent of the law. But the United States cannot be a neutral party in this. We play favorites. And if we are ever going to get to the point where the Palestinians are going to have a state of their own, then the United States cannot be a broker in any of the discussions. We cannot be at the table. And it needs to be a level playing field. I truly believe Israel is not a democracy. Israel is a theocracy. No theocracy can be a democracy. Iran has elections as well. People come out and vote as well. But we don't consider those elections valid. Israel places more stock, and there seems to be a Jewish hierarchy in the mix. Now, if you see the way it is, and not the videos and things that the Israeli government shows you, the hand cam that Palestinians or activists, when they do go to the Palestinian territories, it is complete devastation. It is horrible, and it seems like there is such a disconnect with what the outside world is seeing and what the Netanyahu government is telling you. Now, there is Israeli activists who are actively working with Palestinians to make it work, to build trust in those people. They need our help. But we should not be giving money to a government who is violating international law. We should not be giving them money at the tune of $8 million when we have so many problems in our country as it is, that we actively need to focus on our own country. Israel is not going to fade away into the wind and die. It has nuclear weapons. It has an extremely sophisticated army. They can survive. We are giving billions of dollars to this country. They will be fine, but we need to hold them to account like we do any other country. We need to stop funding them. We need to stop supporting the Saudis as well. They crucified a 17-year-old, for God's sakes. They are still beheading people to this day. Women cannot drive. This is an archaic, barbaric government that we just gave billions of dollars in an arms deal too, that Hillary Clinton signed, mind you. Like, we need to stop supporting these people. If anything, the United States is not an honest broker of what is right, wrong. We have lost our moral compass, and I truly think that if Jill Stein was in the White House, that is the only way we can get back to a foreign policy that understands the Geneva Conventions, that abides by international law, that can work with our Russian and Chinese counterparts, that can be an honest broker in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. I think it's extremely important, because the way the United States is heading, it's just disastrous for all of us. And the only people who are going to lose in the end is the American people. We need to start being honest with what's going in the world, and not look at Israel as a fragile country and view it as it's still 1948. It's 2016, for God's sakes, people. Like, we need to be honest. Like, if it took us how many years for people to realize that there was something going on in South Africa in the apartheid system that was happening there. We need to come to terms very quickly about what's happening in Israel and not turn a blind eye because we have a special relationship. We should have an even playing field with every single one of our allies. And we need to come to terms with there are some allies we need to cut ties with immediately. I think Jill Stein gave a good answer.
Yourself individually as a candidate, why do you believe you represent a better choice than the other candidates?
You know, I'm a mother and a medical doctor. I'm in this really because I know there's no future for my kids unless there's a future for all kids. I'm not a professional politician. I don't need a job as a politician. I've never had a job as a politician. I've been a part of the social movements, really struggling for our health, for jobs, for an environment that's healthy for us instead of these epidemics of asthma that we have, the epidemic of diabetes tied into our food supply. I got into this really, excuse me, as a medical doctor, looking at this tide of illnesses that we didn't used to have and feeling like it wasn't enough to just give people pills and push them back out to the things that are making us sick. So I got involved with our communities to help correct these problems at their basics. So now I'm practicing not clinical medicine, but political medicine, so we can heal our political system and start to actually fix these problems that are threatening not only life and limb, but our very existence on this planet.
When you listen to Jill Stein speak, it always amazes me how little people know about her campaign. But I'm hoping that this town hall changed all of that. She's just such an effective speaker. She's so honest. And you don't feel that there's anything sinister about her, that there's a secret agenda behind anything that she's doing. She's not taking any corporate money. She's not taking any money from super PACs. She's raising donations from the average American citizen. 29 for Stein. That's her thing. And I just really hope that this town hall got the message out. I hope that this town hall got more people interested in her campaign. I noticed on Twitter when the Green Party Town Hall, was trending, that there was a lot of bitter and angry Hillary Clinton supporters just trying to tear Jill down, and you've seen Trump supporters doing it as well. Very shocking to me, but not surprising from both of these two camps. I feel like if more people know about Jill Stein's message and more people know about her campaign and more people know about what she stands for, she could be able to flip this thing. She could be able to win. And it is a long shot. I'm not going to say that it's not. But, you know, there's always hope. And I truly believe that she is the person who our country needs right now. She is the person who can give us a brand new direction and not the same old, tired promises that we always hear but are never delivered. So I hope you guys liked this video. Please leave a comment in the comment section if you do. I'm the Millennial Revolt, and thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day.